Hello, my name is Nathan. I'm the owner and director of PlantWorks. Since the powwow, I've just been wanting to put together a quick video about the hints and tips that I may have alluded to in the sessions that a few of us were running. First of which is that you can use the majority of what you can do in Excel in Word. The references are the same, so you have columns using the alphabet and then numbers down the side. You don't have to label them up, that would just put that there for the example purposes. So to do the different calculations, it's fairly simple. You've got, in this box is 20, and this is just telling you what the formula is that I'm doing. It's nothing to do with the actual calculation. So I'm saying what is 5% of 20, and the answer is 1. So if I change that to 50, click on the answer box, and F9 is the button you press to refresh it, so you get 2.5. Same on this example here. So what is 1/5 of 50, and obviously in that example is 10. If I change that to 500, press F9, and that goes to 100. You can also do totals, so if we change one of these here to 500, go to the bottom, press F9, and you'll get the total on the bottom. So the way in which we do that is we go to the layout tab up here and use the formula button. So on this formula, it's the sum of the left. It automatically defaults to a few different options, but so essentially in here I put the formulas in basically B2 times 5%. This one is B3 times 10, this one is B4 divided by 5, and this one is B5 to the power of 5. So you get the general idea of how that works. The next thing that I've told quite a few people about in the past, and this is the word insert function. So this is, rather than using building blocks, which I find a little bit complicated and cumbersome to keep changing, what you can do here is just save a bank of different wording that you like to use regularly. And a good example of this is risk profile, descriptions, etc. And all you do is you go to Insert up here, go to Object, and you select Text from File. I've got it set up to come to my capacity for loss descriptions. I click on the one I want, and it drops it straight into the document there. And there's another example there that I've dropped in. Another thing that we may have briefly touched on is styles. So styles are your things up here, I did have a bit of trouble getting used to these, but it is relatively easy. So what you do here is you call them different styles. So this one is called heading 1, and then my normal style is called normal, funny enough, and then we've got heading 2 as well. So if I click on here is heading 2, and what it enables you to do is a few things. You can change the styles throughout the document. So if you right click on here and go to modify, we could change the colour of that to green, and then the underline we could change to something really horrible like red, and we'd go to that, and it will change all those headings throughout there. So it's a really quick way of changing all the different styles within a certain document. And what this also does is allow you to create quick contents pages, which I'll show you in a minute. Macros are, they sound complicated. They're really not that bad. Essentially, you can record an action that you're doing on a screen and then have the machine replay it. So in this section, what I've done is essentially recorded me changing the heading styles. So if I go to developer, if I go to macros, and I called it header 2, and I just so now you see all those headings have changed instantaneously. So the way in which to record a macro, you need to have your developer tab activated within Word, and you can do that by going to File, Options, somewhere within here you've got an access ribbon, and you need to essentially move the developer tab over to the right hand side. It might be in this customize ribbon. Yes, see, mine's already over here, but essentially you select the developer from here and add it to there. And the way in which you record a macro, you just go to record macro, do what you're going to do, stop it, name it, and then you can replay it. Another good thing about words that you repeat in reports, client's name, existing providers, new providers, etc., is to have them highlighted like that and do a replace all. So what I can do here is go select the client name tab and go to home, and then go to replace, and then I'll put in my name. And what you need to make sure you do is use the Find Whole Words Only tab, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then you select Replace All. So within my document there were two instances where it said client name, now it says Nathan. And why you need to be careful that you use that button within there that says Find Whole Words Only is because if you've got annual within a report and the client's first name is Anne, and then you want to change it to Chris, you'll end up with Christianul. So you just need to be careful of that. Bullet points, I like to use logos to keep the continuity of the corporate image within the report. These are really easy to make. You go to your bullet points, you go to define a new bullet point, find a picture and just choose one of your logo, and you then have a defined bullet point. That's it for now. I will update you later.